Hello there, Lisa Marie. We are on chapter 4 today, the first principle. First of all, there is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. A thought in the substance produces a thing that is imaged by the thought. A person can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon the formless substance, can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. Okay, now really pay attention here. This chapter is very, very important. I recommend to read it more than once. Okay, thought is the only power which can produce the things that we want. We are thinking centers. Everything we think about broadcasts out. Every form and process that we see in nature is the visible expression of a thought in original substance. We really have to put a lot of thought into this chapter. And honestly, between you and me, I don't think twice is enough to read this chapter. There are 3 chapters in this book that are crucial to get, and this is one of them. Okay. Let's see. Thinking substance, it takes the form of its thought and moves according to that thought. In creating the formless, seems to move according to the lines of motion it has created. No thought can be impressed upon original substance without causing the creation of that form. Man is a thinking center, and most men have confined their efforts wholly to the work of his hands. Whether you think you can do something or you can't, you would be correct. Man has made little or no effort to cooperate with the formless intelligence. The book says that there is one original formless substance, formless stuff, or substance from which all things are made. Thought in thinking substance produces shapes. There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. A thought in the substance produces the thing that is imagined by the thought. Man can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon the formless substance, can cause that thing he thinks about to be created. Um, Wallace Waddles states in this book, I can prove this statement by logic and experience. Reasoning back from the phenomena of form and thought, I came to one, this is Wallace Waddles saying, I came to one original thinking substance, and then reasoning forward from this thinking substance, I come to man's power to cause the formation of the thing he thinks about. This process will not fail. Every man who does exactly what this book tells will get rich. A man's way of doing things is a direct result of the way he thinks about things. To think what you want to think is to think truth, regardless of the appearance. To think according to the appearance is easy. You know, to think truth, regardless of the appearance, is very hard work. There is no labor from which most people shrink as they do from that of strained and consecutive thought. There is no disease. It is only an appearance. And the reality is health. There is no poverty. There is only abundance. To think truth in the middle of appearances, it requires a special power. But he who acquires this power becomes the mastermind. This power, I was talking to my phone. This power can only be obtained by the basic fact that there is one thinking substance from which and by which all things are made. Every thought held in this substance becomes a form. We can create what we want to create. We can have what we want to have. And we can become whatever we want to be. If we get mixed up in our faith, all efforts will be in vain. Now, when this chapter talks about all the formless and the substance and all this stuff, and we're thinking, what on earth does that all mean? Substance is our creator, okay? Think of it as that as you go through and read this chapter again and see if there's some words in there that might go against somebody's principles depending on their religion, okay? And you can replace those words if you choose to. Replace those words so that this is how you're going to retain this. And this is how you can end up living in that certain way and acting in that certain way and just all the things that this book tells us to do. Okay, I hope that helps, and we will see you for chapter 5. Yeah, stop video.